Good morning, it's Barbara. It is 88 degrees almost, and it is only 10 o'clock, quarter after, so it's going to be a scorcher today. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Earlier than I usually am, and I'm not going to apologize anymore for being late because I can hardly see myself. And I don't know, this is Thrive Cosmetics. I'm sure you've seen this before. I don't know why I'm looking because I cannot see myself. But this feels good. And it has the color in the lipstick-ish thing. So I don't know how much color it had. I don't remember this one, to tell you the truth. I'm putting that in the shade. Good morning. Yeah, I'll take my glasses off since I can't see anyway. My arms of my chair are hot. It's hot. While I was making my second cup of coffee, I watered the flowers out here. So they're all set for today. We're supposed to possibly get a thunderstorm tonight, but I'm not counting on that to water these plants. I'm probably going to end up counting on it to water the plants out front, though, to be honest. Although things are, my hydrangea that got transplanted about a year ago, I guess, is looking a little wilted, so I may just go pour a bucket of water on it. Everything else, well, maybe I should just bite the bullet and get the hose out there. Anyway, good morning. So, a little excitement this morning. We don't love excitement, but whatever. Aura has a doctor's appointment. She's, in fact, at this moment at the doctor. Spoiler alert. But we finally were able to arrange transport for her from because she's mostly in a wheelchair. She can't walk. She has wounds on her feet that make it hard for her to stand. So we arranged for the wheelchair van to take her to the doctor. We were a little nervous about that, but whatever. And so her appointment was at 10 o'clock. So 9:58, Dennis texts me, "Mom's not here. Can you call Fieldstone?" So I did. Talked to Mary, the lovely receptionist. She's very helpful and lovely, and she says, "Oh no, she left. I think they left around 9:30. I'm like, well, it's not that long of a ride. So she, "Oh, hold on, let me call Jim," the driver. She apparently got in touch with him, but he couldn't find it. So she gave me his number. I gave it to Dennis, saying he's lost, can't find the address. Call him. And apparently he did, because he and his mother are now sitting in the doctor's in the exam room waiting for the doctor. Apparently the driver got a transposed address, which, you know, makes perfect sense that he couldn't find it because it probably doesn't exist. But anyway, that's all straightened out, and they are waiting for the doctor. So, phew! Spoiler alert, she's sitting in the exam room. It's always stressful when you're trying something new, and obviously this didn't work out. I think they inputted into a form and it got input wrong. Either I told the wrong address or what, I don't know. But anyway, they're there. She arrived. And I suspect she didn't really have a clue that she was lost. So I don't think it's likely that she was very upset, but I guess I'll find that out when I talk to Dennis when he gets home later. But meanwhile, they're there. Whew. It's always something. It's always something. The original plan was that Kim was going to stay overnight here last night and help Dennis get his mom to the doctor, but I called her and I said, you know, we have this transport scheduled, so Dennis doesn't need you. You're welcome to come. You're welcome to stay. We'd love to have you. You want to go to the doctor? That's great, but you don't have to go. She said, okay, well, maybe I'll go on Thursday instead. So she did not stay overnight last night, and Dennis did not need her. He needed me. Which is, you know, appropriate. Anyway. That's the story. That's the drama of this morning. Dennis had to get up early, so we both got up early, and which is why I'm in the sun and you are in the reflection. I hope that doesn't really show up on the video, though, the fact that I can't see you, you know, the reflection. I hope it's not something that ends up, you know, being recorded, so whatever. Yesterday, oh, I had my physical therapy. I worked hard. I was puffing and puffing. And then I ran a couple errands. I'm trying to think what the second one. I ran a couple errands because our infamous Squeak is back with a vengeance. We are taking a long ride in a couple weeks to Virginia, and that Squeak has got to be resolved. So Dennis had this idea that he wanted like styrofoam, like foam, like pillow foam, that he could jam someplace back there that it would work. Oh, I forgot. I gotta show you. Hold on. So anyway, he has this idea that if he had the foam from like pillow inserts, the insides of pillows, that would work. I offered him polyfill because I have that upstairs, but he didn't think that would work. So I went to Michael's on my way home. It's not on my way home, but it's in the general vicinity. You know, I was 5 miles from Michael's. Which, when you live in the country, is in the general vicinity. So anyway, I went to Michael's and got some foam. And they get you, man. They get you. You know, the foam is on, I mean, it was on the back wall of Michael's. So I had to walk through the entire Michael's to get to the foam. And on my way back, I saw these little tiny insulated cups. They are so cute. I had to buy them. And I'll tell you the truth, for the life of me, can't figure out what the heck I would drink out of these, or the girls. Well, I suppose I could have a shot of gin with a little ice cube. But they were so cute, I had to get them. Dennis is like, well, at least they're small, you know, in his snarky voice, like, of course we don't need them. Of course we don't need them. Who would need them? I can't. So if you can figure out what the girls would drink out of this, because they're not getting a shot of gin. Anyway, I got 2 with the idea that, you know, if we come up with a plan, but they're little tiny metal straws. Anyway. Michael's. They get you as you're walking by. So I bought those and the foam. But my second stop was at the State store, and I got some gin, so maybe I'll just try one of the gins. I got a couple new gins I'd never tried before. Oh, to be fair, I got one I'd never tried before. One I know I like, I got recently, and one that my brother recommended that I had gotten a while ago but don't recall. So I got it again. So those were my 2 stops on the way home. And then we got home, and, it, you know, on the way home, my car read 101 degrees on the highway. By the time I got home, the car was reading 95. We live in the cool part of the county, and this is why. So I'm sitting in the cool part of the county. So there you go. But yeah, the car read up to 101 yesterday, and you know, very possibly breaking records all over the place. It's only supposed to get up to 95 today, but who knows? Who knows? And that 95 will be someplace official to read the temperature, and we should be cooler than that, but we'll see. My other frustration that's going on is I told you that I found a lawyer in the Center County where the farm is who could do a title change, and it was so cheap and blah, blah, blah. Well, he's ghosting me. I haven't heard a word. He never sent me like an agreement that you're going to pay me if I do this work, you know, which should have been my first clue. He's a lawyer. That would be the first thing he did. Didn't do that. So I've emailed twice in the last week, haven't heard from him. I sent him an email today again saying, well, if you can't do this for me, can you recommend somebody else? We shall see. I'm tempted to call, but I think, you know, first of all, the whole thing is, in theory, going to cost me $200. I can't believe there's a lawyer anywhere who's going to do anything for $200. And 75 of that is the filing fee. $125. What self-respecting lawyer is going to, you know, I mean, clearly he just has to enter 3 things in a form to do that. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. It ain't coming. It ain't working. If I don't hear from him this week, then I'm going to call my brother, John, who lives in Center County, and say, can you ask around, because this guy's ghosted me. Nothing's ever simple, as it turns out. But anything you can recommend me to try with these, I will. They're so small. I should measure them. I bet they are like a shot and a half. Anyway, well, that's what's going on with me. My frustration with this lawyer guy. I do have straightening up to do because Pete and Terry are coming on Friday, and I realized this morning while I was sitting there drinking my coffee that I have physical therapy on Friday, and Pete and Terry are coming on Friday. And I don't know what kind of overlap that's going to have. But I can always go to my physical therapy and then stop and visit Aura on my way home. So Dennis is going to stay home with Pete and Terry and the dogs. That's my current plan. I don't know what that bird is. I should know. I should know. Anyway, I have not seen a hummingbird since I glimpsed one out the window the other day. But, you know. So that's it. I told you I already watered my flowers, right? So we're all set out here. It'll be a while before I'm back. It's going to have to get very breezy for this deck to be comfortable. Of course, there are shady seats I could sit in, but then you can't see the flowers. What I sacrifice for you guys. Really. Me and my bird companion. Yeah. Oh, moved. All right. That's about it. Don't have any plans for today particularly. Oh, did I tell you that I knit a little bit last night? I think I forgot to tell you that. I knit several sets, you know. I have a 4-row pattern of stripes, and I did maybe 3 stripes. And I'm talking about the back, so it's more stitches. So I did some knitting yesterday, and yeah, and that was good. That was good. That was good. I can't remember what I tell you, but last week when I knit, after my last physical therapy, I actually felt it hurt a little, very mild, when I was knitting, which is not typical. My regular injury that I have had for the last year and a half or however long I've had it does not hurt me when I'm knitting. It's only later when I like go to reach for something. And so I figured that soreness came from, you know, using a muscle that hasn't been used very much, because I am doing arm exercises for that. And so I told Brian that. I said, but you know, it felt like it was just sore muscles, which seems like a good thing if you're trying to build up your muscles, right? So he wasn't worried. But it did not hurt last night when I knit, and I about that much on the back, so I'm making a little bit of progress, and it was nice. I watched a movie I hadn't seen before on Netflix called The Intern, and with Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro playing an old guy who's an intern. And he was so charming. He was so charming. But there was a little bit of a reference to Taxi Driver in it. Because if you recall Taxi Driver, which I think may have been the movie that launched him to stardom, I think his character was Travis Bickle. He, you know, he's challenging himself in the mirror. What are you looking at? Who are you looking at? I forget exactly what he's saying, but something like that. You know, he's like being Mr. Tough Guy in the mirror. And in this movie, he's practicing saying hello in the mirror, you know, and I think it was just a little homage to Taxi Driver. It was pretty cute, but it was a cute movie, and it passed the time while I was knitting, and it, you know, I cried at the end, you know, as you do. So, and then I went and rewatched Ocean's 13. Which was kind of a real palate cleanser before I went to bed, because I've seen it before multiple times, and it's a revenge movie. I do love me some revenge, so that was fun. I kept trying to watch something I'd seen before, but every time I put something on that I'd seen before, I'm like, So, well, till Ocean's 13. All right, so much for the ramble. I'm going to go. I have no idea how long I've been talking because I can't see my screen very well. I'm going to say goodbye. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay cool or warm if you're in the southern hemisphere, but stay cool in the northern hemisphere. Stay safe and stay sane.